Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
If you shave your cooch, but not your booty hole, is that the same as a mullet?
My tongue got her ass and left. I'm on TV! Oh shit! First cops, now this? Oh.
and have your coffee and ready to head to work if you have to work today. Is my something wrong with I think I got the wrong. I do have the wrong. Why? Why would this change? Can you guys hear me? Let me put this down. Hopefully is my sound? Let me check my sound. My sound might be off too. Maybe you guys can't hear. No, it's on. It's on. It should be good. All right, guys. Testing 1, 2, 3. We are live. We are live from Casa Bullhorn Betty. We've got a lot of stuff to go over. Hey guys, I am officially wearing my Shady Bunch shirt for all the losers out there. We are going over a bunch of different cases. One, obviously, is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, but we also got our hands on another case. It's a very sad case. It's Maddie Soto-esque, I will tell you that I may have to pause the live. I'm expecting telephone calls. As the reason why I'm late this morning is I've been on phone calls and meetings all morning long. So I'm trying to squeeze this in, but I may have to step away to answer the phone and handle some personal business. Keimani Latigue is the case that we are going over. We were a lot of information because it was so fluid when it was happening. I couldn't make heads or tails of what's going on. And finally, we have some resolution to that. So this is the information that I have for Keimani. She's the 13-year-old girl that disappeared from Toledo, Ohio. She was gone for a week. They had put out a warrant out for her dad for kidnapping, and then she winds up in an abandoned house deceased. We have learned that she had a sharp blade wound across her neck, and that was the state of everything. The father had a shootout with law enforcement. Oh, thank you, Andrea. God bless you. Andrea says, I'm ready to start the day with a dose of Delilah. And Delilah, you in the coffee club. Come here, Delilah. Come. Always around. There's your dose of Delilah. She's awfully active this morning. She's licking her lips, begging me, because what you guys don't see behind me is sausage and eggs. So she's getting a little bit of eggs and sausage. There she is. See, the little girl. And all she wants to do is be in mommy's lap, and she doesn't like sitting in mommy's lap on this particular chair. So she's going to drop down here in just a second. So there you go. There's your dose of Delilah, my baby, little baby wavy. All right, get down. Oh, don't yank my cords out of my ears. Good gracious. I thought I was going to lose it. Hold on. Let me check this. I got to check one other thing. It looks like I'm having system issues. Hold on a second. Let me make sure everything is where it's supposed to be on the system side. USB, perfect. USB, perfect. Everything looks good. I don't know why I'm having technical. I probably kind of need to refresh my computer. I'm not doing that right now. We should be coming in good. Okay, so when we were covering the case and I came out and told you guys that she was found deceased, and I realized what we were dealing with here. We're not dealing with a man that feels jaded from the system, that he wasn't getting enough time with his daughter. He was just a disgusting, vile individual that deserves to be buried under the jail, not in the jail. Just me. And we were talking in the chat, and we were like, I told you guys that after this point, there's definitely more to the story. And many of you guys knew what we were talking about. Some of you guys even said, they're going to have certain type of test done to her. And that is correct. He did R her before with a knife. And I can't imagine how terrified she must have been. We learned, I originally thought it was the mom that went to jail. And then it was like, oh no, it was the grandma that went to jail. And I'm like, what in the world is going on here? And how does this grandma fit in if she's not the girl's, if it's not the father's mother? And I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. I had an opportunity to review the interview with the grandma. I'm going to show you guys a few things here. At first, she had her crossed hands, which, is a telltale sign of not being comfortable, and protection is what that sign we do organically. We cross our arms, when things aren't. It has something to do with that. So I noticed that right away, and I was like, oh, well, that could mean a couple different things, but let's just move on. And so I started listening to her, and you could tell she's just upset because of the hate that she's getting. People were out in front of her house demanding answers. I don't know how they thought this lady had anything to do with it. She did describe some things that, people can balk at, as far as her discipline methods. But out of everything that we've seen, over the years, it's not something that I would say she was an abusive grandmother by any stretch of the imagination. She was disciplining her teenage granddaughter. Her granddaughter has been disadvantaged. The mom has never taken care of this child. We're not going to blame mom, because whether mom took care of this child or not, this child was taken care of. And at the end of the day, the mom is not responsible for this child. Not responsible for what happened to this child. It is always very upsetting when I find out that, parents are absent from their children's lives, right? But there's a flip side to that and a silver lining to that as well. And it's like, would they have been more destructive in their life? And we have to respect the parents that have made the choice to let somebody else take care of their child because they realize they're ill-equipped to take care of that child. So we can't beat them up for acknowledging that and making sure their child is safe. Okay, whether our personal beliefs on that or not, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is this child has been in the care of somebody else since she was about 8 months old. That's the reality of this. The mother was not very much in this child's life. As a matter of fact, her mom is telling us she was absent. She's kind of ashamed of her daughter being so absent from her daughter's life or her granddaughter's life, but that is the fact. I don't see where they would have had any culpability. I think she just wanted to get the heck out of there. I think they probably may have detained her. What she was describing is a detainment, probably just to question what happened. She was released and she called law enforcement to have them meet her at her house so she could get a few things and leave for the evening because there was, some angry people out there that were screaming obscenities. And I'm not going to take away from the protesters' rights to protest. That is what's in this country. I just wish they would go do a little bit, maybe have it directed to the right people. Grandma is not the right people. No matter how you look at it, they felt very jaded. Obviously, they were trying to have, allow the father to have, some type of relationship with his daughter. They had no idea that he would be capable of this. And I don't think that's the first thought that you think, that they're going to be capable of this. So I'm going to get this back over to this, and then we're going to move on to the shadiness of the hit squad, the KPCP hit squad. So let's keep going.
When is the LCCS? Who exactly did she come from?
Before I get involved in this, I just want to say, Pamela, thank you for gifting 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, please don't forget to tell Pam thank you. And for those that received your gifted Bullhorn Betty membership, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket and your padded room and get comfortable. And Melanie says, prayers to anyone who is going through something. Much love to you, Betty, Delilah, and every one of you guys are the best. You guys are the best. Thank you. Thank you so much. Andrea, thank you again. And we have Jenny. It's nice to see you. Loving me some Betty here in Arkansas. Well, thank you for visiting me from Arkansas. What's the weather? Actually, as a matter of fact, why doesn't everybody go out, hit the thumbs up button, and come back here. Tell me what part of the world you're from and what the temperature is. And if you're from the world of Celsius, we're over here in the world of Fahrenheit. So if you know the conversion, please put the conversion in. If you're like me and don't know the conversion, we'll take Celsius. I don't know. Not smarter than a 5th grader. I'm just not.
How did
she came from her other legal guardian. I choose not to state her name, but she came from her other legal guardian because the other legal guardian and I were best friends. The other legal guardian is my daughter, Keimani's mom, godmother. And we had already discussed when early on, because she's been with.
And in all fairness, I think I would be, it's a time and a place thing. Maybe this isn't the time and place. And we talk about the time and place situation all the time. And at the end of the day, there is something that one of her daughters says they were in the system as well. So I feel like this is a cycle in that family that probably needs to end. But it sounds like, this woman's kids have been in the system before. And, obviously her grandchildren are in the system. So it seems to me a pattern in the family that probably needs to be broken. Um, again, not trying to victim shame in the least, but, we have to be 51. Scotland. We have somebody from Scotland. It's nice to see you. Thank you. Rhode Island, 56. We've got Salt Lake, Utah at 77 degrees. Oh, is Seth and Tony in the house? It's nice to see y'all. It's nice to see y'all. So again, this is a situation. Many people were beating up on this grandmother. The grandma didn't do anything wrong. The mom didn't do anything wrong other than being a crappy mom. But other than that, she had no culpability in her daughter's disappearance. 54 East Tennessee, 44 West Virginia, North Carolina, New York is snowing. We have 70 degrees. I don't know where you're from in 70 degrees. Is it 70 degrees here in Florida? Let me see I don't even know what my temperature is. 75 degrees. Well, I'll be darned. Sydney, Australia is mimicking Florida's weather at 71 degrees. We got Myrtle Beach at 69. We have Texas at 66. Toledo, Ohio is a whopping freezing 37 degrees. And that's where this case is out of today. Pittsburgh is 34. Greenwood is 45. Wow. So am I the only one sitting in sweat? I'm just asking. Bill says it's 3:08 p.m. here and I'm painting garden chairs. Oh, well, nice. Shackle Island is 56 degrees. It's nice to see you, Gina. Thank you for being a subscriber here on this channel. We appreciate that we have some of the local people tuning in. Montana looks like 43, Missouri 51. Going to be 68 today. Good. Okay, so you guys kind of got your world. White House, Tennessee is 55 degrees. Again, another local. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. What a sad case. We got to understand parents do terrible things, and there are reasons why some parents aren't in their children's lives. It sounded like this family was just trying to have, for their grandchild to have a semblance of a normal life with mom and dad. And this is what happened. This man shot out with law enforcement. He has now been captured and he has admitted to R-ing and slicing his daughter to death. And there are no words. There are no words to describe. I'm very, very glad that I'm on this side of the screen in some of these cases, because I got to tell you, hearing some details of parents, the people that, and she's beautiful. She was a beautiful girl. Beautiful. 13 years old, had her whole entire life ahead of her. And she's now gone and never to be. It's just something I don't know if I can describe in words. I'm frustrated and angry and everything else that you can imagine. So that's kind of a sad note. We're going to flip a script just a little bit and talk about something that we don't normally talk about on this channel. And just for a little bit before we dive into the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case and the shadiness, the shady. We're going to be watching for some people don't like it when I go to people that use tarot cards and everything like that. So if that's one of you, if you guys don't like it, don't want to see the commentary, this is just kind of your forewarning. We're going to be diving into that after this next story. So you might want to consider coming back like maybe in an hour or in a half hour, 45 minutes, if that's something that you don't want to listen to or entertain. But I think I find it enlightening for me personally, enlightening. And I think it supports the title of this show. All right, guys, this is from Andrea. I've personally thought it was pretty interesting and thought I would bring it up to you because, again, this is not true crime. It's just, it's just a wow moment. So, an iceberg detached from Antarctica, revealing a never before seen ecosystem of deep sea life. And, I don't know how many of you guys are like in science and stuff like that. It was, I've always been curious of water. I got to be honest with you. When I was in school, the deeper you went, the uglier the fish got. The more I don't know, prehistoric the fish got. They look like alien fish, and so I don't. I'd like to see beautiful fish and beautiful things under the water, but you don't get to see that when the deeper you go. So this is a rare look into something a little more beautiful. And it's again, the iceberg detached from Antarctica, and we're finally getting to see never before seen species and things. And this is a insect, a suspected new species of isopod. That was sampled from the bottom of Bellingshausen Sea off Antarctica. So we're already getting some new stuff to explore. You would think, look at this. Is that like a little octopus? Does an octopus rest on the sea floor, a 1,150 meters deep? And then you got this neat thing, a giant phantom jellyfish. Never heard of a phantom jellyfish before. So again, it's just a little different than what we cover, but I thought it was so interesting that we couldn't, not cover it. This is a solitary hydroid drift. It drifts in the current, and it's about approximately 380 meters deep. That's pretty interesting. And just some of the other stuff. Helmet jellyfish. I've never seen one of those before. And this little ecosystem here, this large sponge cluster. So I just thought it would be interesting. I know that I've got some people in my chat that love science and love, marine biology and stuff like that. And so this was kind of catering to that. I personally thought it was neat and interesting, and I figured it would kind of break up some of the mundane of this channel and the gunkiness of this channel on this hump day. So, different stuff. You never know what we're going to find in this world. But I think the one thing that we can deduct from this is our world is still worth exploring, right? It's still worth exploring. We haven't seen everything yet. And I hope before my lifetime, we see something absolutely spectacular out there. But anyways, I'm done. All right, guys. So now we're going to move on to the Sebastian Waindrake Rogers case. As many of you guys know, it has been proliferated with a lot of chaos and drama unnecessarily. There's no purpose. I still can't find justification or purpose for all of this. And, here we are again with another person that's making their ways around. I'm done talking about this person. They don't exist in my world anymore after causing all of this drama. My solution to everything: unsubscribe and move on. We don't need distractors and defectors, in the true crime genre. This is going well past an opinion. This is going to trying to make a statement on the back of a 15, now 16-year-old missing child. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that at all. I'm not okay with any of this. And I'm definitely not okay with people, being nasty to Tony or Seth for that matter. These are two people that have a very clear goal and one goal in mind, and that's to find Seth's child. That's it. They're not on here. They're not stirring the pot. They're not creating chaos, despite what all these other channels want to make you believe. They do not dictate. First and foremost, let me just make something very, very clear. And we have people in this chat that can absolutely validate this. Let me be very clear. Nobody ever, and nor will ever, tell me what I can and cannot say on my channel. So for the nimwits out there that think that I have some type of report I'm getting, that I'm reading for. You've got yourself confused about who you think I am. Nobody. I think I have sat on this platform for 5 years explaining to people, you will not tell me what I can and cannot do on my channel. So this wild conspiracy that somehow Seth or Tony are telling me or Justin or any of us what we can and can do, or even calling us and asking us questions while we're interviewing people, cut it out. Cut it out. Can you imagine while I was in the middle of an interview, somebody texting me questions in the middle of it? I mean, if you don't believe me, there are several people that used to be moderators for me that tried to pull that shenanigans, and they haven't been with us for years. Because what I do is I delete you and I block you. You do not interrupt my show. You do not tell me. I think I have sat on the platform, don't tell Betty what to do long enough, don't you think? So for anybody to actually give these credence any type of playtime over them thinking that we have some type of sheet is ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. I can personally tell you that when I talk to people, especially people like Seth or Tony, it is about a child. It is about information related to the child. Not trying to get information from them, not trying to elicit some brainiac nonsense from them. I follow the information where the information leads, whether or not I know the family or I don't know the family. It's a very clear, cut, dry process that I use for every single case. I do the same thing over and over again on these cases. It's proven to be correct. So it's just one of these things. Put you guys, if you guys are gonna literally impersonate somebody, okay, make sure it's somebody that's believable that you're impersonating. Nobody ever would ever believe JLR is coming over to this channel, just like nobody would ever believe I would go over to his channel. I want nothing to do with that little you know what. Okay. Bye. Shoe fly shoe. Thank you for waiting an hour just to be banned. Was it really worth your time and effort? I mean, I don't understand where the time and the effort comes from, but that's okay. That's okay. We've got a video for you since you're not getting enough attention.
Sneaky gremlins love to fight, but we're here to set it right. Jump and duck, let's take a shot, turning trolls into what they're not. Whack a troll, let 'em tumble, let 'em roll. Swing your spatula or a stick, whack 'em fast, whack 'em quick.
I think we got it pretty quick. That's our motto. That's our motto. And if that's not good enough, if you really want it, because I could tell you, we rock it out. We rock it out.
They crawl in shadows in this frightful haze, whispering venom lost in a maze. They meddle with lives, play a twisted game, but we see the truth, call them by name. They think they own the spotlight's glare, fingers pointing as if they care, but Sebastian's army stands in the light. Through the chaos, we're ready to fight. Get out the way, your eyes won't stay. Sebastian's army clears the fray. Unstoppable force, pure and loud. We rise together, we're battle proud.
So there you guys have it. There you guys have it. We're not going to let these attention hungry people that absolutely are wrong, have always been wrong, and do nothing but spread disinformation and try to gaslight. So you know what we do? We ignore them, we move on. This is about a child. This is about a missing child. This is about a missing child that has a mom and stepdad having inconsistent statements and weird behavior. Sorry, not sorry. If you guys need some education, I would suggest you look at policies and procedures of law enforcement if you want to be as good as Bullhorn Betty, because I look at people's actions, not necessarily their words. So here we're going to go over a question. I don't know if I'm allowed to use this person's name. I feel like I'm allowed to, but I don't want to. So and just make sure every time, until I remember which ones I'm allowed to share your names and which ones I'm not, make sure you let me know I'm allowed to. But this is one from one of our audience members. It says, I've been doing a bit of thinking about the night Sebastian went missing. Where was Katie when she was waiting for help at 3 a.m.? This is going to be Seth. I'm not sure if you want to be around here for this one. I really don't. If you're not in the chat, good. If you are in the chat, you might want to go get yourself a cup of coffee. I believe Katie was sitting in the sunroom, possibly with an injured, unconscious Sebastian Rogers. I can picture her stroking his head, talking to Sebastian, waiting in her sunroom for help to come and retrieve Sebastian, sitting there in the dark, stroking his head, telling Sebastian everything's going to be okay, all the time knowing Sebastian wasn't going to be okay. I wonder what that was like. How did that feel to be comforting her son while knowing the entire time she had her hand in his disappearance? Alone, in the dark, just sitting and waiting. And then none of this would have happened. Or he had it coming and it's not her fault. Then the light came across the backyard. Relief, finally. But it's not relief, because now she lives with those last moments in her mind in that house for forever. So and I think as I was reading it, because I know when I was personally reading this myself, I was envisioning it. And this could be something that may have happened. We don't know. But we have our thoughts and our opinions. We've learned over this process through the grapevine, through other social media content creators, through social media, that it doesn't appear that these people are staying at this home or have left multiple times from this home. Many people find that in and of itself odd behavior. And why do we feel that? Because we've seen parents grieve for their missing child, not their deceased child, their missing child. We've seen it. And this is where we have our contention. But, that's not the topic of conversation. The topic of conversation is the Shady Bunch, right? The Shady Bunch. The people that have infiltrated this case for unsavory reasons, for clicks and views, for a profit-making scheme, fraudulently defrauding social media out of tens of thousands of dollars for blickboards that never happened. A whole host of, in my opinion, crimes. But with that set aside, what do we know for a fact? We know that we had an unscrupulous PI, along with several content creators that unscrupulous PI was associated with, infiltrate the mom and stepdad's area, make them believe that they were there to help them. And all the while they're just there to get as much intel and information about them as humanly possible, and then to eventually disseminate that across all social media platforms. And this is a technique that they've done for a long time. It's one of the reasons why I refuse to work with or have anything to do with that crazy lady Cher from CA, Canada, is because of what the effery she was doing, trying to get close to Billy Joe just to extract some information. This is this gamut. The problem is that gamut is problematic and could be and have some legal implications in that strategy as well. But this is something I've seen over and over and over again in these these situations. And what you always find is there's a defector on their side that kind of rocks the boat before they're ready. And now they have to cut that person, crucify that person, and then try to act like, oh, it's not them. They must have been sent here as a mole. They must have been da 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 da. I don't want nothing to do with that unscrupulous PI. I can tell you that I would quit working with somebody if they were working with that unscrupulous PI, because it would be one of those things. I'm a one man show. I don't need anybody's permission to run a case. But if they're going to have, contact with me and I'm going to work with them or assist them, then I do have some rules, and some of those rules are who those people associate with, right? So if there were anybody that he was I would either quit or he'd have to be fired. It'd be one of the two. There would be you get your pick, right? It's my choice, right? It's not that I'm forcing their hand. I'm making them choose. And I'm perfectly fine walking away. I'll still cover the case, but you're not going to have that kind of contact with me or the information that you probably would want. And I can guarantee my stuff has been stolen more than their stuff has, right? They don't really produce anything. They talk a bad game and have even a worse forum. So, but I found it interesting because when we were talking about this lady came up once before, and I ran her show once before, and it was about, she had some really interesting information that ended up being true. And I thought it was really interesting that she was able to pick up some of these things, and it was based upon this reading that she did with Sebastian, and it really it made me feel like what I thought had happened. So I played her on here. I talked about her. She seems very nice. She's just in a different realm of social media than I am, but she had me. I was just going through it. The first thing I saw was her face next to my face, and I'm like, oh, what's this? I didn't know she was about to crucify me or not. I don't know her, right? So I decided to play it, and she really is kind of in tune with this case, absolutely. And so she does a reading on this unscrupulous PI, and everything that we were kind of thinking. Hey, I am Team Summer. It's nice to see you. Big hugs and love. Big hugs and love bug. And so I'm listening to this, and this is kind of how our take has been on this, just by our normal, watching of this particular crap PI's channel, his X channel, right? And so I figured, you know what, I wanted to go ahead and play this because I really do think it gives us insight, and it does support some of the things that we've believed. So I'm not going to spend any more time discussing it. I'm going to let you guys hear it for yourself, and we're going to go through it. You guys probably recognize me at the very front of this screen, and this channel is called Silver Violet Flame. Silver Violet Flame. Please go over there if this is your cup of tea. I know that this kind of stuff isn't everybody's cup of tea. It's really not my cup of tea. You guys don't really see me using, a lot of this stuff on my channel typically. But in this case, you know what? I'm not going to dismiss anything, because if there's anything that could even get the brain moving in the right direction to help find Sebastian, we don't want to overlook it. So this is the reading of SF and what his true intentions were in the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. Yes, he's part of the shady bunch, right? Let's see if I don't know what she is, if she's a medium, if she's a clairvoyant, if she's a tarot reader, or what her specific designation is. And I don't want to be disrespectful, because I know that they mean something, even though I don't understand it. So whatever she may be, this is what has been said on the reading of SF Investigates, the unscrupulous UTI of the case. And I just want to say, I can't be happier to know that he is out of the case, but I just don't believe he's gone. He's like an STD. Once you think it's gone, it circles back around. You forgot to take your antibiotics, right? You didn't take them regularly, right? So he is the UTI and the STD of the Sebastian Rogers case. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Okay. I don't make this stuff up. I just roll with it.
Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Debs and this is Silver Battle Flame. So I wanted to
Help and advocate for
coming out.
that these channels got together to help and advocate for the Proudfoots, and started to attack people on their behalf. We know, based upon some conversations, that these content creators had direct access to the mom and stepfather as they are attacking people, and it seems like there is some things going on. We're not going to deal with any of the RICO stuff that I'm involved in. I'm not getting involved. Hey, Seth, it's nice to see you. I'm not getting involved in any of the legal aspects of this, but we are going to address some of it because it wound up on my desk this morning. I'm waking up. Yesterday, I noticed that the Unscrupulous PI's account had not been deleted, but it had been privatized. That basically means if you are not friends or following each other, you cannot have access to the information in that account. And so I just left it at that. I heard everybody saying he was deleting. I was ignoring it.
I keep wondering, did he, with all the information that he allegedly has, I wonder, since he's stepping away from the case, has he turned his file notes and his case file over to law enforcement? If he's stepping out of the case, where did his file go?
Because
I'm
I
just
had
curious.
saw his account.
It's a
was
rhetorical
not
question.
Deleted, it was on private. Well, this morning I wake up after a whole slew of emails and realize that his account has now been removed. I don't know if he's got it in something he can garner back, because
I think there's a way to inactivate your X account without deleting the channel. But I'm not that much. I mean, I do have a decent following on X, but I've never, played these games, so I don't know, maybe somebody else has deactivated an account on X. Is there an option to inactivate it and that you can reactivate it later, or once you delete the channel, it's gone? Does anybody know that?
to me it doesn't seem like he is really going to fully delete the account. I have no idea. But what I can say is
what I truly think is going on behind the scenes is he's realized he's majorly effed up. I mean, he looks like crap on his channel. He looks like a freaking bully. Who wants to work with a person that's always online when they're supposed to be out doing field work and finding your missing loved one? I don't know who would pay this Yahoo any money after seeing his Twitter page. It's the most unprofessional thing I have ever seen from a PI. And the reason why I know this is because I have had to use PIs in the past. On several different fronts. On several different fronts, I've had to use a PI, and I've never mind the fact that we spoke directly in the Crystal Turner and Kylan Schulte's case. We were speaking directly with Jason Jensen, and Jason Jensen kind of did this case. He had a big outfit in Salt Lake City, Utah. We went to his office. We tried to talk to him. At first he thought we were just some crazy people. And then he had an intelligent conversation with us where we were talking about, certain suspects that we had, came up against, while we were in the area doing our fact finding and speaking to anybody and everybody that could have came in contact with these ladies. And I've never, he has a social media account and he does these, little spotlights on this or that, but he's never been like this crazy Yahoo in this case. Definitely, I see professional PIs where that is their primary. They're not trying to be social media content creators on the backs of victims. They're actually, they take their duties very seriously. They're very covert. They're very confidential. They don't want to be in the spotlight because that removes their covert behaviors and makes them more notable, which is not what you want when you're dealing with a PI. You want them to be able to have those covert operations. You don't want to know who they are. You want them in the background, and that's not what you're getting from this Yahoo. So there was a lot of things, and I personally think he's cleansing his account. He's going to clean it all up and make it look like a bright, shiny penny by the time he's said and done with it, trying to erase all of the damage he's done. Never mind the fact that the reason why I know he is capable of committing federal crimes is because when we were dealing with the Layla Santinello case, her mother called me in absolute freaking tears, irate, angry, scared. And it was because this unscrupulous PI went to the law enforcement specifically, and I mean specifically, told told this unscrupulous PI to his face, do not interview these people before we get an opportunity to interview them. Specifically told him. And the first thing he did was go and interview a girl named Kiera. And he interviewed her. And then when the real law enforcement came, she's saying, I already was interrogated. You need to reach out to so-and-so to get my information, and refused to talk to law enforcement because he had already interrogated her for 2 to 3 hours and says that he would protect her or something to that effect. And so I ran the story, and I took the post that was posted on social media, a public platform in a public post, and I ran with it. And he tried to take my channel down for exposing this important, relevant detail in the case, that he literally monkey effed with this case, where an eyewitness or a witness to this case wouldn't even speak to law enforcement after they told him, don't go over there. So he ends up filing a federal copyright case against me on behalf of Kiera. Mind you, he set up an email that was not hers. He was controlling all the information going and coming. I don't even know if Kiera even knew he had a federal lawsuit against me. I had to file an FBI complaint against him, and I had to file a complaint against his license. And he jacked up mine with the network of people. One of them I'm suing in Illinois to take my channel down for 3 solid months over a bunk copyright. A bunk copyright. Of course, he never proceeded with it because by that time the FBI had been notified. But that's the kind of man this unscrupulous PI is, and I've had a front row experience with him since 2023. I'm over it. And when I say that, I mean I'm over it. But let's hear about him, not about Bullhorn Betty.
This is a defendant in a case, in a federal RICO case, that has now deleted his entire account, allegedly, meaning that evidence he destroyed, he intentionally and willfully destroyed evidence in a federal RICO case. I want people to understand the implications of him removing that account. This is something that we have been trying to explain to people, that the way they're handling stuff, these hate channels and everything, how they treat people, how they put spotlights on them, they send people.
Okay.
Now listen.
So I was pulling a few cards there while she was talking, and it's very clear what's happening here with this guy. What he's doing is he's weighing up his options, and he's looking to see how he can start off again and get out of this mess that he's in.
Start off again. Like cleanse an X account to make him look so pristine and professional. He's too much of a hothead to ever, because you'd only have to say one thing and he'd go off, because he can't control his behavior, much like Chris Proudfoot.
Basically, he's not in a good way, and he's trying to backtrack as far as I can see.
Oh, does that sound familiar? This is why, yes, this is Silver Flame, Silver Violet Flame, I think it is. Yeah, Silver Violet Flame. Here it is right here. Let me see if I can get her. I'll throw her in the chat real quick. So if you guys want to go and sub her up, this is the second, listen guys, this is the second video I've pulled from her. For me, her stuff makes sense, and like I said, we don't normally do this, but this is the second time she's been on my screen in the last several months.
Let's play this a bit more.
Fully delete the account. I have no idea. But what I can say is this is a defendant in a case, in a federal RICO case that has now deleted his entire account, allegedly, meaning that...
Yeah, I see you.
Okay, so let's see his energy.
So now she's going to his energy. This is important. This is what I think is pretty interesting related to his energy, and this reveals a lot that we have already learned. That's why it's interesting to me, because these are things that I know we've learned, or at least reasonably can deduct. And I think this is more solidifying some of the beliefs we may have, in part because, again, this is a reading. This is catching energy. Some of you guys believe in this stuff, some of you guys don't. I'm kind of on the fence, to be honest with you.
This guy, I don't even know his full name. I just know he goes by SF Investigates. So let's have a look at his energy now to see where he is in regards.
Now, let me tell you, this lady doesn't know these people. She doesn't know me. She doesn't know, she has no reason to, I don't know, whatever, make this stuff up. And it's kind of hard to make this stuff up when you're looking at cards. It's kind of like the way the cards fall as you're, holding the cards or whatever. Again, I don't understand. I'm not going to act like I do.
Regards to all this that seems to be going down today. Let's have a look at this energy. Burdened. What did I say? There's lots of arguments, lots of fights going on, lots of competition going on.
She didn't just say fights. She said competition. And that truly is what I think this is all about on their side. See, the difference between our side and their side, and it's sad that it's a side, but there is, and we're not going to act like there isn't, is that we're focused on Sebastian. We're focused on Sebastian's story. They're focusing on competing for the highest numbers, the most money. This has become a money-making scheme on the back of a 16-year-old boy.
What else? What else is going on with him? He wants it to be over. He wants to forget about the whole thing. He wants the whole cycle to be closed off. And he wants to be free. He's starting to restore things. He's looking in his mind and he's going, all I want peace. All I want is to recover from this. He wants to take control of the situation.
No surprise there.
And look beyond and put it all behind him. He wants to move on, Wheel of Fortune. So what I would like to know is what it is that he's hiding.
What is he hiding?
So tell us that. What is SF investigations so afraid of coming out? What is he so afraid of coming out? Give me 5 cards on that, please. What is he so afraid of coming out? So there's all these filings against him now, and he's just feels like he wants to run away and hide. That's what I can. There he is, waiting to see. He's look at all the. Well, he put 3 months into it. He's been working for the Pride Foods for 3 months, and he's been waiting on reaping the rewards of success. Of course, his most
reaping the rewards of success. Reaping the rewards of success. Move on with a fortune. Yes, that's what she read.
Things. What is at the root of this is money as well.
Ah, bingo, bingo.
So let's see, I asked for 5 cards. So I've got the King of Wands, the King of Swords. Two
Guys,
kings.
I gotta pause.
Then I'm not getting.
Oops, sorry. Give me a second. Hey. Sorry about that, guys. That's going to be kind of the way the morning's going to be. I've got a lot of sticks in the fire this morning. Sticks in the fire. I think I went too far ahead because she's got more down than we had originally. I accidentally. Let's see what we got here. We got the. Let's listen to this one.
The Page of Cups. The Ace of Pentacles. And the Ten of Wands. What did I say? There he is, trying to use his wit and his charm to get himself out of this. This is
trying to use his wits and his charm to get himself out of this.
The Ten of Swords. This is the ending. He just wants it all to be over. He just wants it all to collapse. This is all the backstabbing and everything that has been done.
So it appears that, based upon this reading, that there may have been more backstabbing going on behind the scenes than we were ever privy to know.
That he has done to others, allegedly. And he's seeing the other side of it now because the flick has switched. And there he is. The truth is going to come out. This is authority.
The truth is going to come out. I thought the truth was already out. If it was true. So this is kind of solidifying that the truth hasn't come out, right? The truth hasn't come out. So there may be more going on here. The truth hasn't come out because the truth is still waiting to come out.
Authority are going to look into this. This is like a new investigation that he's going to be looking out for because he's just feeling quite sensitive at the minute, and he's just
quite sensitive. A big old tough, rough, mean guy is awfully sensitive.
Just wants a wee bit of good news to come in, but at the moment he's very, very downtrodden. Let's see what else we've got underneath that. Give me a card to go underneath each one. So he's just feeling so, it's an immature, it's also very immature energy.
She's looking at her cards and saying he's immature. You can't make that up. Can't make that up. This lady doesn't know any of these people. She's reading cards, okay? And she's kind of hitting the nail on the head in this reading.
Energy. Very egotistical energy as well. Okay, one for underneath each. Judgment. So that's, he has to look to the past and make a decision in regards to what he's going to do. The minute he's just...
So I think it can solidify he's not out of the game. He's trying to just die down to make this grand entrance so everybody just falls right back into his lap and all of this goes away. And I don't think that's going to happen. This is going to follow him around his entire career as a PI. I don't see how, after doing all this damage for all these number of years, you're going to be able to shake a horrible reputation that he has. And I don't think the people here on social media that he has now upset, even the hate channels, he ain't liked by anybody, not even his own people. So I think his days on social media, even if he did come back, are very numbered, and he's never going to be who he thought he was.
Taking his time and looking at all of his options. So give me a card for underneath the King of Swords, please. There you are. He wants a new experience. He just wants to take off and do something else. The Fool. He wants to do something new. He seems to be, in my opinion, quite delusional, this guy. If he thinks... that he's going to just walk away from this mess that has been created. Give me a card, please, for underneath the Page of Cups. The Ace of Wands in reverse. So this is unfulfilled promises. He's just really feeling that he has taken on too much and he's running out of steam.
Yes, he has taken on too much. I think we can all can deduct that. He didn't know how to handle it. He doesn't know how to talk. He doesn't know how to be professional. He's like a fish out of water, in my opinion.
Basically. And he's burnt his bridges. Ace of Pentacles. There's that Seven of Pentacles again. Waiting for a new job to come along. Waiting for a new investment.
You can keep on knocking, but you can't come in.
Because he's done. Ten of Swords, he's done. But it's been a painful ending. And I feel like he feels like the whole thing's collapsing all down around him now. You'll give me a card for that Ten of Swords, please. Yeah, he wants to move on. So this is actually the card of karma. This Wheel of Fortune coming out here makes me feel that the awareness is coming in.
Did you guys catch that? Did you catch that little word she used? She said the Wheel of Fortune is karma. Karma, what's going on? Hey, Sonia, I see you up in the house. Be Betty. Betty fan, don't forget to tell our lovely mods, our beautiful mods, thank you for making this a wonderful experience for each and every one of you. I see you up in here. Want to give her a special shout out. Thank you. And I am Team Summer. It's nice to see you up in the chat as well.
There's no running away from the deviousness.
No running away from the deviousness. You stuck like Chuck. Here comes the storm.
That we have witnessed in regards to going into other people's channels stirring up things.
Oh, not the UTI. He wouldn't be stirring up anything. That little innocent little baby boy.
Saying things that should not really be said. The fool, there he is. He's just waiting for his chance to take off again because he's bored. All right, that's
He's
very,
bored.
it's very clear. He's bored and
He's bored. She's saying he's bored. Well, maybe he wouldn't be so bored if he unplugged and actually got out into the field and did some work. I am chomping at the bit to do some field work. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not my cup of tea. I've been stuck in this house for a year. Okay? I'm telling you, when my wings are unclipped, I'm flying. Birdie's flying. Big Bird's gonna be up there somewhere. Just look up. I'll be there. You know, I love doing field work. I love being out there searching for people. I love being out there getting the pulse on whatever's going on. I like being boots on the ground. It is a very costly venture, but I tell you, it has the most. You get so much more information clarified than you do sitting behind a computer. I honestly believe that 100%. You're not going to get any information by sitting here. That's why we don't get all that new information. If I was in Toledo, we would have had this story buttoned up within a few hours. We would have been able to tell you guys exactly what was going on, who were the key players are, where they are most likely at. We would have been able to tell you all of that information in a very short amount of time if we were boots on the ground. And that's for Keimani, whatever her name is, the 13-year-old girl from Toledo, Ohio, that was just murdered by her father. We would have had a lot more information, but you know what? I'm sitting here. I'm at the mercy of Google and mainstream media. And you guys know how I feel about the most mainstream media. They cover the case, but they don't dive into the case. You know, our investigative journalism is not, unless it has something to do with politics, they turn their investigative journalism off. And half the time when that has something to do with politics, they're completely utterly wrong. So it is what it is.
And I would say that he's very worried as well. Show me cards on his actual feelings. What are his feelings?
Does he have feelings? I didn't know narcissists had feelings. Do narcissists have feelings? If narcissists have feelings, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't believe they have feelings, put a 2 in the chat. Or maybe they're just so overconsumed by their own feeling they can't get out of their way. So many are my feelings. Now I've got to destroy their life. I don't know.
Actually, what we'll do is we'll do a Celtic cross on
Thank
it,
you guys.
and that'll tell us exactly what his feelings are in every area of his energy.
What's the UTI's feelings? This should be interesting. I haven't gotten this far. We're watching it together for the first time, y'all.
The Tower. Wow. This is what's happened. These are all the filings that have been brought against him. He's really, really worried. And it's been a shock.
Oh, the filings are a shock. Well, that's not a shocker. Oh, you mean that tough exterior he's been displaying all over social media isn't real? It's just a facade? Seems like he's a little worried. I wonder what he's worried that is going to be found. Maybe some information from his bosses that have been directing all these people to do these terrible things to other people?
He's looking upon it as a disaster. Okay. This should be interesting.
This should be interesting. I'm waiting with bated breath. I'm not sure about you.
Okay.
Here's for the reveal.
So this is what it's all about. His work. He's thinking, what am I going to do? Doesn't he have this reputation of finding people, or allegedly 27 people he's found or something like that? Well, he's he's sort of way looking at that. He's looking at, you know, his work. He's looking at how he motivates himself. What's crossing him? The devil. Well,
Ha! I hope that never comes up in my reading. Let's see what this means.
it's himself. What's crossing him? The devil. Well, what's crossing him is his own fears now. It's like the dark energy. And also it could be these two people here, KP and CP, are crossing him, because we don't know what's going on to bring these charges forward. And we know certain people have reputations of being very devious. And I just...
Yes, if you haven't learned from your reading, yeah, he's very, very devious and dubious and unethical and unprofessional. And the list could go on and on and on.
I want to clarify that, devil. Tell me what the devil is representing here, please.
What does the devil
Very
represent? It
clear
should be interesting.
explanation of what the devil is representing here as regards to what's crossing him and his work.
Oh, it just jumped out. Let's see what it is.
Self-doubt.
It looks like a beached whale. No, I'm sorry. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Abuse of power as well. Why strength in reverse? Abuse of power. Wow, interesting, guys. Yes, he wants to run. He wants to run away from this. He wants to take action. So that's what's crossing him.
He wants to run away.
He knows that he's feeling like the underdog now.
It's that ecosystem, that disgusting cesspool of creatures that act like they are the only people. This little 1,000-person group every day feels like they're the only people that exist on this world, and everybody thinks exactly like them. But time and time again, you know who are attracted to them? Mostly criminals, people with substance abuse issues. That's usually the people that like going and hanging out because they're like-minded people. They're like-minded people.
And he's feeling weak. And he knows that there has been an abuse of power, allegedly, and he wants to just take off.
What? An abuse of what? Hold on, what?
Feeling like the underdog now, and he's feeling weak. And he knows that there has been an abuse of power, allegedly. And
abuse of what? Did you guys make that out? Can somebody tell me what they think they heard? Abuse of what? Abuse of power? Power? Okay. That's what I thought it said, but I wanted to make sure. Okay.
And he knows that there has been an abuse of power, allegedly.
Okay,
and he wants to just take off. The Knight of Wands is very reactive. He doesn't think. He's very in and out energy.
Doesn't think. Well, no shit, Shirley. He literally interjected himself into a federal case and has now, he wants out. He's screaming uncle.
So I'll just put those two back in. Let's see what this conscious mind is. He just wants to start something new. Ace of Cups. He just wants, that's what he wants. He thinks he can walk away and start something new.
I like how she says that. He thinks he can just walk away and start something new. I wonder if that's what he did with his photography. He stayed in it until he realized he was a joke in photography and not being taken seriously. And then he's like, oh, I woke up today and I identify as a private investigator. I identify as a private investigator. Let's do that. And he becomes a laughing stock in that field too. So now it's close up shop and run away. I don't think so. I think he's not done with his attention. He's going to lay low until he starts feeling the need for attention. And then he's going to come out and probably just just be poor, just have poor behavior for the negative attention, because it seems like he thrives off negative attention. Or
Yes,
maybe he acts like he thrives off negative attention. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it is getting to him behind the scenes. We are reviewing this. If you are interested in, we're reviewing it. I'm not playing the whole thing. I'm just playing this area. Once this is over, we're going to be done.
Cups is a new beginning. It's something that you really love. It's the Holy Grail. What's on the subconscious mind? The Ace of Swords. Another new beginning. 2 aces. 2 new beginnings. This is
He needs a new beginning so bad. He just doesn't need 1. He needs 2. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
like a sharp mind. This is like getting clarity on what you want and taking action on it. And the recent past. There he is. Left out of the crowd. 3 of Cups in reverse.
Aw, he's left out of the crowd. Oh, no. Ah, so sad.
He's just feeling on his own and like a victim of gossip. The immediate.
Do you guys think, I gotta ask you this. Do you guys think he's a victim of gossip, or did he create this for himself? If you think he created the issue, put a 1 in the chat. If you think he's a victim of whatever, I can't. Don't vote. This is good stuff. I'm sorry. I this is new to me. I got up to about, 13 minutes, and I figured it was good enough. It was good enough, and I figured the rest of this we watched together. But this is some funny stuff. And with everything we know, right? With everything we know, this is some funny stuff. Now, take this as entertainment. If, like I said, if you're into this stuff, then you probably are getting a lot more out. I'm laughing my rear end off. I have to be honest with you. I don't think this could be more spot on. And this is the second time I've said this about this lady.
Future. This should be interesting. This is like the next weeks, months. Wow, a lot of imbalance, a lot of power and domination.
This is his future, y'all. Remember that K word that she used just a little bit ago? That word called karma. All right. Let's see what's in his future.
Next week's, months. Wow.
She even goes, did you guys see her take that sigh? That sigh was like, whoo. Based upon her reaction, I would say in her mind, she's probably going to downplay it, but it doesn't look that good for him. I'm just saying. Based upon, look at it again. You guys be the ones that decide this. But listen, look at it again. Let's see her face. Look at her face. Everybody, pay attention to this lady's face whenever she flips this card over.
6 weeks, months. Wow, a lot of imbalance.
Lots of
A
imbalance.
lot of power and domination. A lot of stinginess. Let's just break that 6 of Pentacles down a wee bit. Wow. Deception, the Magician, trickery and deception.
Wow.
Why the Magician in reverse?
Deception.
That's him. Trickery and deception from him. You've seen that he came out as the King of Wands.
Trickery and deception. That's what we can be waiting on for the next weeks and months coming, is the trickery and the deception. The trickery and the deception. Keep that in the back of your mind. You're going to need to pull that card out in the next week or month ahead. You're going to need to remember this. At
the beginning with the 5 card spread that I done. So this is him. He's using everything that he has to be sneaky and try and get himself out of this. But everybody's turning.
So he's going to be sneaky and underhanded to try to get himself out of this mess. I think the damage is done, and I think the writing is on the wall. That's just me personally. I don't know what's in this man's future. Heck, I don't even know what's in my future, right? So I'm just saying that this is just wow. And I believe it. I believe that in our future, there's going to be some trickery and effery going on.
Against him, power and domination.
What do you think? What do you bet he starts throwing out dirt under an alt account? What do you think he starts throwing out the dirt that he knows about the people he was working with? Maybe that's why he's going under the radar. He's probably just over, like just boiling over with anger and vitriol and just frustration, right? And you know his personality, so he's very vindictive. He's very vindictive and he wants to be retaliatory. So what would be more retaliatory than dropping all these people's secrets on alt accounts? What you bet that starts happening? If he stays quiet, I bet you anything that's going to be coming next. Because again, what she just said, the trickery and the deceit.
Huh, there he is. So worried about this. Not able to sleep at night, 9 of Wands. He's feeling like so unstable, like his whole world's been turned upside down. Heavily burdened. That come out in the 5-card spread as well. And there again, the Knight of Wands, he wants to take off. Put that back in the deck there. He just wants to be free. Yeah. Self-doubt. So,
we'll let her have her final word.
This is his energy at the minute.
Oh, the minute energy. Hold on. After these cards are turned, we're going to end.
Making a choice. The Lovers is all about a choice. So he's sitting going, what am I going to do here? I have to make a choice. This is his environmental energy. Wow, moving on.
Maybe he is moving on.
I told you that the two aces there, he wants to move on. The 5 of Cups in reverse is just moving on. And he seems to be delusional. He wants to find peace with himself. He seems to think.
Well, what happens when you lay with the devil? Once you become so morally corrupt, it's kind of hard to turn back the hands of time. When you become, not that it's impossible, not that it's impossible, but is he willing to give himself, the necessary skills to be able to handle his business without losing a gasket? Could he really just move on and take accountability for this mess? All the lies, all the underhanded stuff, all the fraudulent reports. You can't undo that. You can't undo that. And even if I have amnesia or get hit by a truck or get dementia, there's still somebody else that's going to remember. And social media, this stuff that people put out there, it never really goes away. And you see how. Because even if he deletes it, how many statements of his were clipped from his channel and broadcasted on other platforms? You never really erase the dirt you do. That's why I just don't get into the dirt to begin with. I've had dirt slung at me. I've had to get a shovel and dig myself out. But doing dirty, all this stuff, if you got to work this hard, creating alternate accounts, being people you're not, that's dirty.
Think that he can just walk away from this, and perhaps he feels he doesn't have to answer to anybody. But wow.
And me, nobody has to answer to anybody. They have to be. They will be judged based upon who they are, whether they answer to somebody or not. But for me, I don't think anybody answers to anybody but themselves.
Unbelievable. Let's look at his hopes and fears. change. Time to move on. All these cards are about moving on. He just wants to run away.
Okay. Well, there you guys have it. There you guys have it. I thought you guys would get a little bit of, it's a little different than what we typically do on this channel, but I figured it was a little bit of comical and, you know, it was just a little bit of everything kind of all into one, because in all fairness, I believe the reading. I do. Whether, you know, it just from my own observations, but I truly, in my back of my mind, don't believe this animal's going to go away. He's just waiting for the next, you know, scam. This guy is doing whatever he can to have attention, for people to notice him. That's the first problem. If you're out here just for people to notice you, people will learn that that's what you are about. And I just feel that that is truly the problem here. He's not getting, he thought if he decided to get with all these popular people on social media, these dirtbags, that they would build him up. But when you build your foundation on a pile of poop or water, it's going to be swept out from under you. And I feel like that's what a lot of these channels are. You know, their foundation is shaky at best, and it's just going to take one little rip current and pull everything, unravel everything. I'd rather be on the right side of things. I'd rather associate with good people that do great things, that try to give these victims a platform, a decent platform, one that people can learn about these cases. And, you know, their reasoning for strumming up all of this hate is very simple. They want clicks and views for their hate. They don't care, and never have, about these victims behind me. Because if they did, instead of raising money for themselves, they'd be raising money for these kids. They'd be raising money for foundations that help kids not become these kids. There's a lot of things that they could be doing that they don't. They take the money and they use it for themselves. We and other creators on the true crime community do fundraisers. We buy gifts for disadvantaged kids at Christmas. We go out to areas where they've been flooded and try to help. You know, we save dogs. We've provided food to shelters. You know, there's so much that we do. And not just me, but other content creators like me. Every week I have this level of work to do, but I also have county commitments I'm obligated for as well. So it's all about reaching out and helping the disadvantaged people, if that's what you're truly here for. If you're truly here just to talk and have something to do with your pastime and talk about victims, that's your prerogative. But to totally try to destroy somebody because they're not doing things the way you think they should be doing, boo-boo, nobody answers to you. Nobody. This Yahoo that I can't stand, this UTI, he doesn't answer to anybody. But when he's out in the public forum and he's doing the shenanigans, he's going to have a spotlight on him. I kept saying he's going to destroy his reputation for the last 2 years. Change course. You're on the wrong side of things. I've said that publicly. Now here we are. Here we are. All the other channels, I said this. It's not that I go out and do anything. I just know if you build, it's just logical. If you build your basis on hate, on immoral things, there's no possibility of that foundation being solid enough to build anything on except shit, which is what we got. Shit. Anyways, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. And if you can't, ignore them. Just be done with them. It's over. It's done with. These people don't exist in our sphere. We're here for the victim. Let's keep it about the victim, with a side of a little sly or satire or commentary. Just saying. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.